Hello, and welcome back to Crafty Mom Creations. Today we're going to do something a little bit different than my other videos. We're going to do a little bit of a comparison. Paid patterns from Etsy versus free patterns. So I had a few rules for this. 1, the pattern could not be over $5. And I'll explain later why that's my thing. 2, the patterns had to be somewhat similar. So same like standing, laying, that kind of thing. The free patterns couldn't be behind any kind of like paywall or any sketchy sites. Like I made sure the designers were the actual designers. So we did an elf, a snowman, a reindeer, a Christmas tree, and a gingerbread man. So I'm going to show you one of or both of them, and you tell me down in the comments which you want, which one you think was paid and which one you think was free. So we are going to start with the elves. I did have some difficulty finding free patterns that weren't from the same designer for the same things. So I do have a repeat in here of the same designer. So here are my elves. So you can tell me down in the comments, is the one on, your left, I guess, the paid one, or is the one on your right the paid one? So now I'm going to tell you, this one is the paid one. This one is the free one. So we'll start with the free one here. So this one was a free pattern from the Wonder Crochet. She has a couple really great free patterns. She also has quite a few really great paid patterns as well. Very basic pattern, couple color changes, nothing crazy. I don't even think there was any more than simple single crochets and some chain stitches for the hair here. You sew the hat on. I used all the same yarn. It's all Parfait Chunky, and I think the hat was a little bit small. It probably could have done with another increase row. Pretty basic pattern, basic shapes. You sew on the arms, sew on the hat. Other than that, I can't say anything really bad about it. It's a very simple pattern. It's great that it's free because it turned out super cute. But I will link all the patterns down in the description. So the paid elf. I paid, maybe I should bring that up. So the paid elf is from, I have all my notes over here. Lily and Fern Crochet. I will link the pattern down below. And I paid $4.06 Canadian, and it was 40% off when I bought it. So technically it's under my $5 rule, but when it's not on sale, it was $6.76, and that's Canadian again. So a lot more sewing with this. You sew on the arms, you sew on this piece here, you sew the hat on, the ears, and the hair underneath. I don't mind sewing, so this is not a low sew or no sew situation because I really don't mind sewing things on. I find that low sew or no sew patterns are, how do I put this without making anybody angry? They're too easy, if you will. There's a lack of detail. They're just very, very simple. Like I understand, I do markets too. I get it. Like we want stuff that's quick and we don't have a lot of cutting and sewing that takes up more time, but I find the lack of detail sometimes hurts my sales. So I don't mind sewing. I'm just going to take a quick look at my notes for this. So Lily and Fern Crochet, just taking a quick peek at my notes here. Very well written pattern, great pictures, I believe. So great pattern, very well written pictures, very clear explanations on how to do the legs, because this is a top down pattern, not the legs up. So that was a little bit different. It looked kind of strange before I got it all put together, but it's well written, great pictures, great tutorials on there. Honestly, for a pattern that I paid $4 for, the details made it worth it. All right, on to the next ones. Which one shall we do next? I want to do the snowman. I want to do the snowman because there's a debate in my house as to which one is better. And it's not better as in how I made them so much as which one they think is a snowman and which one doesn't look like a snowman. So we'll do the same thing again. You guys get to guess which one is the paid one, which one is the free one. I haven't put the buttons on the one snowman yet, but here is snowman number 1 and snowman number 2. So down in the comments, tell me, is it the one on the right or the one on the left that is the paid pattern? Okay. This one is the paid pattern. This one is my favorite of everything I made for this. This one is my favorite. I absolutely adore it. However, my family doesn't like it. They don't think the body is snowmanish. They don't like the little bucket hat. I think it's adorable. I think it's so cute. And I think that they don't know what they're talking about. So I paid, what did I pay for this one? Again, everything was under $5. $4.64. Again, it was on sale for 40% off. So it was $7.73 not on sale. And again, Canadian dollars, guys. So this was worked. We did the arms first. I'm just going to pull up the pattern because I wrote my notes on it. You do the arms first, and then we started with one leg, the other leg, and we worked our way up. The arms are crocheted in, so there wasn't a whole lot of sewing other than the nose and the facial details. There are buttons that I have to put on. I haven't done that yet because I haven't decided what buttons I want to put on. I want to kind of keep with this baby blue snow theme. So the pattern designer is Yarn Whispers Craft. Now I'm fairly positive based on how the pattern is written. English is not the first language. All right, I'm so sorry about that. I realized that while I was filming this the other night that I forgot to do one of the patterns. So I had to stop and go and do that and come back. And then last night I was just so tired, massive headache, so I couldn't get it done. So where we left off, I guess not that really long for you guys. So the snowman pattern. This one was the paid one. I paid $5.24 for it. And This pattern was fantastic. Tons of photos. She has photos of all the different face shaping techniques, how to pin everything on to sew it. Like, perfect, absolutely perfect. If you want a snowman pattern, this is the one to get. Now we can do the free one. Sorry, my notes are down here and they're on my computer here, and I'm just flipping back and forth. So this one was the free one, and it's from a blog. She's also on Instagram. It's A Little Love Every Day. It's a typical blog pattern, not a whole lot of pictures. There's no instructions or pictures showing you what to do, just simple instructions. If you know what you're doing, it's not a big deal to follow it at all. Super simple, really great. It's turned out really cute. Quite the difference though. There's definitely more shaping on this one, whereas this one's very simple. You do the legs, you work up, you decrease, and then you increase for the head. Like, this basic shape you could turn into just about anything with a couple little tweaks here and there. So thankfully, considering how basic it is, it was free. But basic doesn't mean bad. I'm just saying that it was free, I'm assuming, because it is a fairly basic pattern. There's no shaping, there's very basic shapes, very basic, the standing legs, like, it's a very basic construction. There's no weird added increases or decreases. There's no shaping in, like, the body. Oh, that fell off. There's no shaping in the body. Like with the elf, there was some added stuff. You had to, oh, my hair's on it, of course. You had to work in the front loops to add the dress. At least there was a little bit extra there. All right, what is next? Let's do the gingerbread man. This is the one I forgot to do. So I had to go back, and the one I forgot to do was the paid one I did. So which one do you think is the free one, and which one do you think is the paid one? Aren't they cute? I think this time I'm going to show you the free one first. This is the free one. Remember those basic shapes I just talked about? The legs, you sew on the arms, basic increases. The buttons are just bobble stitches. Very, very basic construction. Some color changes. The only things we sewed on were the arms. Let me check my notes here just a second. So, gingerbread. It's from craftyfulmade.by.jy, and that was on Instagram, so easily accessible. There was a hat. I didn't make it. Probably should have, but I didn't. Mostly because I ran out of red yarn, and I can't find any anywhere right now. Especially since Michael's doesn't have the Chanel Home Slim anymore, and Parfait Chunky, everywhere I can order from right now without paying a ton of tariffs, is sold out. So, gingerbread pattern, craftfully made by JY. There was some really decent photos for a free pattern. I was really surprised by that, and that is amazing. Again, it's mostly no sew. It's really cute, very, very cute. I did use these like Christmassy eyes with the snowflakes on them. I thought that was super cute. And then the one I paid for. So, what do my notes say here? Why Shine Crochet is the designer, and it's just so, it's so cute. I love all the details. I don't mind paying for a pattern that is more than just a basic shape, because I could literally follow this pattern, or I haven't showed you them all yet, or this pattern, And I could make a reindeer. I could make Santa Claus, some color changes. I could make deer and superheroes and elves, of course. And it's such a basic shape that I don't want to step on toes, but I also find that patterns are getting really expensive for something very basic. And as someone who has done patterns myself, and I'm trying to get back into that because I spent a lot of time working on getting into markets, pattern prices. None of my patterns are over $5. And honestly, most of my patterns are going to be free from now on. I'm building a blog, I'm working on it to offer my patterns for free. Now I know it's a touchy subject, and there's a lot going on in the crochet community right now about pattern pricing. But coming from someone who has been crocheting for, oh my gosh, 33 years now, and every day for the last 16 years actually, these patterns are simple. And I don't mean that to be rude or to take away from anybody's work. But if I can take this and turn it into this with simple color changes, I think we've gone from making and wanting to be creative and make things to where, and I'm guilty of this too. Don't think that I'm sitting up here on my high horse looking down. I am guilty of this too. We've taken our hobby, taken our way to be creative, and we've monetized it. And that's okay. If that is something you're doing, that is something you want to do, that is something you've tried and failed, you try and you're trying again, it doesn't matter. You do what you want with your hobby. You can turn it into a business. However, I find fault in charging $12 for this, and another designer who's even less well known is charging $5 for something more detailed. I don't want to pay for something that doesn't have detail or some kind of complexities to it that is different. When I was looking for patterns, it was almost impossible. Like, I know one of the rules were to find something similar, but I wanted to find something similar, but that was a little bit different. I know that doesn't really make sense, but it did in my head. It made sense in my head. This is different, and I just realized I've not finished his little face. I need to put some blush and stuff on. But this was a little different. This top piece is what sold me on it. Like, the basic construction of the body, again, I keep wanting to think I'm ahead a dime a dozen. And I've shown you the elves, like, it is literally the same pattern with some color changes. These are all the free patterns, by the way. But they're the exact same pattern. He's got a little chubbier belly. He's got a little bit longer of a belly. Like, they're all the same. All the same. Oh, anyways, rant over. I'm done. Okay, Gingerbread Man was Why Shine Crochet. Great pictures, great notes for clarification. It was well thought out. There is a lot of sewing though. Like I had to pin all of these down twice to sew it on. However, the legs and the arms are crocheted in, so but you do sew on the head. So there was quite a bit of sewing. For me personally, I don't mind the sewing. It's not a big deal at all. All right. What do we have next? The reindeer. I think that's the last one. Yes, the reindeers are the last ones. Okay. These are my reindeers. I know this one, the color choices aren't great, but it's what I had left because I can't find brown anywhere. If you're from Canada and you can find brown chenille, however we say it, yarn, please let me know in the comments where you're getting it because I can't find any. I actually picked up demi pearl today to do a cow, and I'm using cinnamon stick, and I don't know if I like it very much. It's kind of like an orangey, reddy ginger. I don't like it. It's not brown. Anyways, we have these two. This one's in Parfait Chunky, and this one's in Posh Pearl. Which one is the paid one, and which one was the free one? I still have to go through and pull all these pieces of fiberfill off. I need my sticky roller thing. So, I just realized there's a piece of red hanging off his nose. Start with this one, and I'm just going to go to my, oh, we still have the Christmas trees, I forgot. Reindeer, there we go. So the paid one, I think, is on the other page. Hold on. Okay, so Chronic Creator with 2 R's at the end. I'll put all the links to the patterns and the designers in the bottom. So I paid $4.16 for it. Not to bring up the rant again, but same construction. Like, same thing, just added ears and antlers. And a little tail. But you kind of see where I'm going here with the basic construction, just color changes and a few ears, horns, hats, accessories, if you will, antlers. Anyways, it's a good pattern. I didn't have any problems with it. It was well thought out. Simple construction. You do sew on the muzzle and the antlers. They had pictures on how to do for the added details, and I was supposed to put like a little line here in the hoof. I haven't done that yet. I will get that done though. It's not too hard. Yeah, it's a good pattern for $4.16. Again, you want to support designers, but at the same point, I can look at these pictures and do it myself. However, I still do buy the patterns because I do want to support the other designers. And this one, remember when I said that there was free patterns by 2 different designers? I could not find another reindeer that was free. So this is also by the Wonder Crochet, and so for both the elf and for the reindeer here, it's on the Wonder Crochet's website. The ads, of course, that's the way they're making their money off of doing free patterns. Completely get it. And anybody who's going in read only and doing copy and pasting or whatever, so they don't have pardon me, look at the ads, don't do that. It's a simple pattern. Again, basic, simple construction. Did we sew the arms on, or no, they were crocheted in. So arms are crocheted in, and Again, being a free pattern adds not a whole lot of photos, just the instructions, which is not a big deal because it is very, very simple. And when I say simple and basic, I'm not knocking the designer. I'm just saying that, to be honest, all plushies are simple, at least for me. If you don't feel that way, everybody has an opinion, and that's fine. These are very simple shapes because if you think about it, all amigurumi are made out of simple shapes. You start with a magic circle, you get some kind of circle, cylinder type shape from it. You start with a chain, you get an oval. It's very simple. Again, simple, simple does not mean bad. Simple does not mean bad. All right, now for my Christmas trees. I can't find one of them. I'm fairly sure one of my children, mainly Connor, has run off with it. However, I do have the ones I made here. These are the paid ones, so I will still put the free pattern link and all that in the description for you. The paid version, I'm going to show you two of them because I mixed these up. I didn't read the pattern, and I don't know what I was thinking because when I read the pattern, it's a tree on a swing. And for whatever reason, I'm like, oh, this is really cute. I want to put it in my van anyway because I have a duck currently swinging around. I wanted to change it up for Christmas. And I made it in parfait chunky, and I'm working on it. I'm like, this is getting really big. Like, this is going to be in my way if it's hanging from my rear view mirror. It's getting a bit big. And then I realized, as I went back into the pattern, that she used a much thinner yarn. So off to my stash I went, and I found my Petite Pearl is what I used. And I made the little one. I still have to put like the little Christmas lights on. I do have some really like tiny beads that catch the light. I want to use those, but I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work in my van for a distraction, like if it's going to shine at me or affect anybody else. So I think it might be safer just to do it with colored yarn. But look at how cute they are. And oh, sorry, I couldn't find a Christmas pattern, Christmas tree under $5 other than this one. And that wasn't AI, of course. I had such an issue trying to find patterns that weren't AI, like, or stolen patterns. I couldn't believe it. Here I am on Etsy going, oh, this one's really, really cute. And then I scroll down a little bit more and I see the exact same picture by a different designer's name. Scroll down and there's another one. I was like, why is Etsy not doing anything? But I guess that's the way things are going on Etsy. I don't know about anybody else's experiences, but it's not been great lately. Anyways, there is tons of photos in this pattern. I will say all the patterns that I did pay for had quite a few pictures in it. And if you're somebody who isn't as experienced yet, great resources for making the plushies. It was a well thought out. I still haven't made the little swing. It's a little square swing, of course. And I can't wait to finish it. But those are the patterns. So we have the Christmas trees, and my apologies about the rant. I probably should have just kept my yap shut. The reindeer. The gingerbread man. Oh, my phone is having a heart attack there. The gingerbread man. And of course his hat is falling off again. my snowmen. And last but certainly not least is the elves. I have a favorite. I don't know if you have a favorite, but if you do have a favorite, let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite. I think right now it's a toss-up between the snowman and the Christmas tree, because I can't wait to put this in my van. It's so cute. All right, so we will see you next week, and I have a tutorial coming out on, I think, Monday for the rocket ship that I had the tester call for a couple weeks ago. So keep an eye out for that, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.